So Amy, did you meet Margaret before you agreed to do this, or did you meet her after you had taken the role?
I met her after I'd taken the role. I thought her story was one of a very interesting time for women, and I thought that her voice was, although she's soft-spoken, she's very bold and very brave, and so that was a story I really wanted to tell. And but I flew up, and she opened up the gallery to me, and everybody's been really gracious and sort of shared her stories, and she's just been lovely. So I've been really fortunate to have her as a resource.
So what was the first meeting like for the two of you? For you going to play somebody that you're going to play this person on screen, and Margaret, here comes someone that is going to play you in a movie.
Well, I was very nervous, and she put me totally at ease, and I didn't realize she was, observing everything I did. And she just, was very relaxed and just very down to earth. I couldn't believe she was such a famous actress.
I think I'm quite a shy person by nature, so I think we kind of have that in common. So between the two of us, I think we both were wringing our hands a lot. And I didn't want her to feel examined. I didn't want her to feel pried into. I didn't want her to feel interrogated. So, we started with the artwork and kind of what that was, and she opened up about her past and shared some fun stories just about her life, and she was just really engaging, and I learned a lot about her character. She's an extremely generous person, extremely spiritual person, and I just learned a lot about her, and it really made a difference in portraying her.
So, she said you were, watching her carefully. Were there certain things, physically, mannerisms, any of that you picked up and used in your performance?
To a degree. I don't want to. It's so strange to be like, yeah, well, Margaret does this, and so, like in front of her, it's still to this day, I don't want to be like, well, I picked this up or that up, but. I was struck sort of by the pictures of her at the time too, because. I just noticed she was never somebody, although she was quite beautiful, who ever exuded this sort of it's not a confidence, because you seem to be very confident, but it was, you didn't need to be looked at, I don't know. Yeah, so there was just something about her that really spoke to me, and I seemed to understand how to play her opposite Christoph's Walter, because, yeah.
Well, Margaret, I know that the writer-producers, Scott Alexander and Larry Karaszewski, had been wooing you for a while, right? What did you want a movie about this story, or were you reluctant to give them the rights?
I was reluctant at first, and I had turned down other offers because I didn't know what they would do with it in Hollywood, and so when Scott and Larry came to me, they wanted to produce it and write it and direct it themselves and have total control of what, and we really, after several times we met, and I trusted them, and they did a draft, and we went from that, and it took 11 years for it to actually happen.
There must have been times when you thought, oh, this is never going to be a movie.
I know. It would look like it was going to start off and everything was going fine, and then something very unusual would happen and everything be down to zero again. And so when Reese Witherspoon was going to play me, and then she found out she was 3 months pregnant right before the shooting, that squelched that. I thought, well, this is it, it's never going to happen. But then Tim Burton came along, and everything really just went forward from then on.